Yeah, I got a great idea for the governor of Florida. Yes, Rick Scott. Okay, I was driving in my car um, on my way home, and I just went to see a friend. My friend wasn't feeling very well, so I left. I was hoping to go and hang out maybe for a little while or whatever, but he wasn't there, so I headed home. Anyways, on the way home, I do, and I was just wondering. I want to ask a quick question. Don't you watch out for school zones whenever the light's flashing and it's blinking and it's saying school zone, hello, children are present, you need to go 15, 20, or 25 through those uh, distinct places that have a flashing yellow light. So it was during that time, and I just happened to pass one that was not a flashing light. It's a sign that says two different times, one for in the morning and one for in the afternoon for when you're supposed to go. I think it is 25. So it's not even like you're supposed to slow down to 5 miles an hour or anything ridiculous like that. It's 25 freaking miles an hour. And if somebody's behind your car and they're, oh, go, 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 they make you feel like in front, like, oh, like you need to go faster or something, you know? So I see the school zone. I look at my clock as soon as I do because I'm familiar with this place. I've lived here for a while. So I come up to the thing and I'm aware of it because I try not to blow through them, the school zones. I try not to blow through a school zone. So, and that was one time I did. It was an accident. I did not mean to do it. And I was freshly just new to being in back in the area here from Oregon or whatever. And I was with my cousin Eric Ronish, and Eric said to me, "Hey, cuz you just blew through that school zone back there." So I know that my cousin had a conscience about what he was doing and what he was doing with me and what I had just done. So I know he wouldn't have blown through the thing. So he made built helped me build up an awareness that might be a little bit more in place and not out of date sort of because I would know all those things maybe in in Oregon, but as far as here in Florida, unless I've been here for about a decade or 5 years, even maybe, you don't really have that much of an excuse to say, "Oh, I didn't know," you know. But anyways, today I was going through it. I look at my clock. I looked at the time, and I know what time it was. We always set our clocks back forward or backwards whenever it's time to do that. And this car flies right past me. So I'm just like, man, that car just blew through the school zone. He was going 45 or 50. So it's about a 35. It goes maybe 40. Stop. You guys, stop. And then it goes to uh, back to 35. It doesn't ever really go go beyond 35 this length of road where this guy blew through there anyways. So you shouldn't be going 40 or 45 really down it as it is, but he blew through it right during the time that the traffic should have been going 25. So here's my suggestion. I got to cut through the shit and I'm going to get through this. I'm going to tell Rick Scott what I think my great idea is. And remember that socialist puke that ran against him or whatever. There was a governor here before. I don't like him at all. I don't like the Democrats. I'll get up and I'll walk out. If you got a Democrat speak, something like that, and you don't let me know, I'll get up and I'll walk out and I'll lose interest in everything else. If you told me beforehand, I won't even show up to the event. So I think it's a little like trickery if they do that to you, and you don't know, you're not ready or expecting to hear some politician you want to hear or not. So anyways, I think some things are really ridiculous, but I think what they need to do here is they need to put put money in to it being a yellow light that flashes at every single school. It doesn't matter if it's just a private Christian school or not. That doesn't give the state the right to say, "Oh, well, you're a Christian school." That excludes you to have the right to be the same privilege as everybody else at public and public school and everything else does. I have a big problem with thinking that oh, this is just the people or the will of the people without the will of God actually being in it. So I um, do curse and I do bad things, human things, like I say, like everybody else. I don't practice to be religious completely like I should probably, but like I said, at least I'm conscious about being aware of the Lord or God being in there. And that's why I think it's important to say like in God we trust and things like that, because then you're teetering already, but then you're teetering more towards something evil and something without God. And what it leads to is it leads to, oh, that's okay. That's okay if you could spit on that person, or it's okay to do different things that are common sense would tell you is absurd to do to another human being. So I think that Rick Scott needs to invest into the light and then make an expensive, like a $10,000 camera on each place. Maybe 5,000, maybe 1,000. But the reason why I wanted them to be an expensive, somewhat expensive camera is because if somebody tampers with it, I want them to be able to be prosecuted by the full extent of the law. And I wanted them to, the state to be able to put them in a position where they don't necessarily have to get, what is it? Um, where like somebody is court ordered to pay you money back or whatever. They don't necessarily have to look at getting money from the person to pay the thing back. They need to be able to put people away that do things like that for a while. So make it a mandatory 1 year prison sentence that they can't get out of for vandalism. For vandalism, if they screw with the device, because it's also could be considered something to save lives. So you want to kill a little kid? You do you really? You really want to blow through that thing? See, like when I said um, I got caught, but my cousin said, "Dude, you just blew through that school zone like that." He made me feel really bad. You know what I mean? So he made me feel like I was like I didn't have a conscience. It was like, what kind of puke are you? I know how people are and stuff, but I try the best that I can to give everybody's child an opportunity or a chance. I don't want to give them not a chance, you know. You want to give somebody not a chance. So, anyways, I think they need to put this device on the thing so if the people blow through there, they get a ticket and that's it. So, if they can go to court and explain to the judge, hey, I just got here. I didn't mean to do this, and this will not ever happen again. Maybe the judge can possibly be up to him if he wants to work with the people or not on the first offense. But like I said, if they're here and they're just blowing through a place like that, and they don't really have they've got a raw excuse instead of a good excuse. Which an excuse is still an excuse, but still, I mean, the judge has to hear the cockamamie shit anyways, right? So I just figured since this guy blew through there today, it kind of jarred me a little bit and it irritated me. I like wanted to call the police almost. I wanted to get on the phone and call them, get his license plate number or something. Anyways, the dude pulled into this place. It's like dollar store or something. And I pulled in there right away and I didn't know what I did not want to talk to him. I did not want to confront this guy. I didn't want nothing to do with him. I wanted to get a better look at him because I couldn't really see him in his car or whatever. When he got out, he was like an older gentleman, not like an old man. He was like probably like 45 or maybe 9 or something like that. Um he wasn't like a teenager or a person in their 20s or anything like that or their 30s. Somebody like at least in their 40s, probably a little bit later 40s. And um, then I kind of felt a little bit, not really bad, but sort of close to bad because I wanted to see the cops talk to the guy because I wanted to do something about it. You know what I mean? And then I felt like kind of like it was more pointless than hopeless. Not like I did like I was, oh, this is hopeless. It was just more like pointless. If that makes any sense. So I just I just got back into traffic and drove off and left. I didn't even say anything to him. I just watched the guy walk into the store, and then I was like, whatever, dude. Because I had no idea what the guy was. He in a hurry or something? What's your deal? What's your problem, man? These guys want to pass you on the outside so that they can get in front of you, and then it's ridiculous. So that's my suggestion. I think they should do it. That Chris, what was his name? What was that puke's name? That was the governor here, that Democrat socialist piece of work that ran against Rick Scott. What was that guy's name? I can't even think of his name, but I know who he is, and I don't like him at all. He implemented one law, I guess, before he left, and that was to stop people or to get people's license plate numbers from a camera on a um, on intersections. If they run a red light, the light takes a picture of them and then mails them a ticket or gives them a ticket or something for going through the red light. So I figured if that piece of garbage did that, Governor Scott could possibly do something for the children because it'd be looking out more for the children. And yes, I am for there being cameras up everywhere. Even though they might not work to my complete benefit, I still am for that for children so that if the child's abducted that we have cameras in different places that they would be monitored and they would at least have the person that did it on camera. So that's why I said I'm for a police state in a way, but I'm totally not a socialist or anything like that, except I believe in social help for people that need it or whatever. It's you got to look at positive ways it's going to get people in a productive mode, something that's going to make them productive. So I figured that there might help Rick Scott out. If he's got a lot of politics and other things, agendas and things that he's got going on, I just wanted to bring that. Not that you're stupid or anything like that. I just think sometimes we might not be thinking about different things. And if somebody has an idea and they can share it with you, then it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. My opinion. Thanks.